money under the PM Kisan scheme. There are a lot of schemes that the Prime Minister has rolled out under his government, and that Narendra Singh Tomar says this money will trickle down to farmers. It will keep coming, and they don't have to worry about that. There's enough money under the PM Kisan scheme. They will be benefited over time. While this happens, 10 opposition leaders have written an open letter to the Home Minister worrying about the kind of security and the situation right now along the border areas, asking for internet connection to be restored along those areas, water supply to be placed again to restore water supply as well, and to restore electricity. Now, farmers have complained there's no water, there's no electricity, internet services are not there, they're kept like prisoners along those border areas. Now, we do know that the Republic Day violence really turned the tables to a point where the police have taken this agitation seriously enough to actually block those border points with exponential security, never seen before security, and this has not gone down well with the farmers. They feel like they're prisoners. They feel that because of some unwarranted elements who created ruckus and violence, why should we be punished because we are carrying out peaceful protest? But nonetheless, this is a MP. These are opposition MPs. In fact, 15 opposition MPs also went in the border areas. They were not allowed to meet with the farmers while they were at the Ghazipur border area. Several MPs spoke with the media saying that they are not allowed to meet or interact with the farmers. And if they can be treated like that, one can imagine how the farmers can be treated, or how the farmers are treated. These are allegations coming in from the opposition parties. Meanwhile, we are looking at a lot of ruckus in the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha, with opposition stepping up its attack, questioning the government about why that kind of security deployment along the borders, because it almost looks like a security deployment along the China-India border or along Pakistan-India border. That's the kind of security that's been put in place. Who are we fighting against? These are farmers, these are our own people. You can't build a Berlin Wall, you've got to build bridges. This is an opposition stick. While all this happens, a chakka jam, which the farmer community have already, the protesting farmers have already decided to roll out tomorrow, where they between 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. they're going to be, they've said that they're going to be blocking highways, state highways and national highways from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. in a symbolic protest against these farm laws. The Delhi police now have come to huddle up for a meeting to ensure security in place, and they've said any stray elements entering the national capital, even by chance, will not be spared. This is what the Delhi police has said, saying that all vigil, all eyes are on the farmers, and if anything goes untoward, and if they don't want a rerun of what happened on Republic Day, so anything goes out of control, the farmers will be pulled up, is what the police has said, warning them. But the farmers, 41 unions are taking part in this chakka jam. They promise that it's going to be peaceful. It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out, because the last time they said the same thing on Republic Day, we saw what happened. Now, while the pressure mounts on the police to actually crack down on those vandals who created ruckus on Republic Day, the police is now in fact released 25 photographs of many of those vandals who laid siege at the Red Fort and created ruckus and thrashed and damaged, vandalized property along the way. In fact, Deep Sidhu's photographs have also been released, of many photographs of him and near the Red Fort, and 1 lakh reward has been announced of those who give information on his whereabouts for his arrest. Even Lakha Sadana reward has been mentioned on his name as well. There are 3 key elements, including Deep Sidhu, Lakha Sadana and one other person who the police is currently on the hunt. This comes even as 120 people have been arrested so far. 40 FIRs have been filed. Now, the farmers say that many farmers who have been arrested are all innocent. They were not involved in the violence, and they should be released. So this is another demand of the farmers now. As they ask for the laws to be quashed, they also say that those farmers who are innocent, who have been jailed, must be released. And they've been fighting for it. The farmers saying that this is police atrocity against innocent farmers, and it's a conspiracy by the government. Now, apart from also forensic experts' help is also being taken now to understand, identify those who were responsible for the violence on Republic Day. Now, a quick word, a shift to the West Bengal polls, the poll-bound state. We're looking at a lot of developments. Rath Yatra that the BJP is going to be carrying out from tomorrow. BJP has been trying hard to get permission for the Parivartan Rath Yatra, where they intend to travel across the 294 assembly constituencies. They want to reach out to the larger population in the state of West Bengal. BJP wants visibility. They want to consolidate their votes, mostly Hindu votes. That's what analysts say, that they are looking to reach out to the Hindu vote base in West Bengal, and this Rath Yatra will really give them that kind of visibility. They're wanting to take permission. They've been approaching the TMC government. The TMC has been resistant. Now, West Bengal Chief Minister has tossed it to the district administration, saying, ask the police, the local police, because they're the ones who handle law and order. They must give you an answer if they can give you permission. And what we got an update today is that the police say they don't mind giving permission, but they're yet to get a lot more details on the BJP over the yatra. So far, only permission has been given to Nadda's Rath Yatra to be flagged off from Nabadbip area, the Nadia district, and after that, will the Rath Yatra progress to other districts and areas? That needs to be seen. In fact, a word from the police has not come. A confirmation of permission has not yet come in from the police, and neither the West Bengal government has given a take on that. In fact, a PIL has been filed in the Kolkata High Court against this Rath Yatra, saying that it will disturb communal peace. In fact, it will try and rake up communal disharmony and unrest, and that's why this Rath Yatra must not be given permission. The matter is in Kolkata High Court. It's due to be heard on the 9th of February. But before that, JP Nadda is already landing into the, West Bengal tonight. He's going to be flagging off this Rath Yatra. You have now the BJP delegation also in the meanwhile meeting with the Election Commission before the West Bengal polls, asking for the Election Commission to do a thorough check and survey across West Bengal, and due to law and order situation time and again being derailed, and we're looking at bouts of violence that happen every time the BJP carries out a rally or a campaign or anything. The BJP has demanded for BSF forces to be deployed, or central forces to be deployed on the day of the election. In fact, the Election Commission has now agreed, saying that going by the state's preparedness and checking and actually surveying and assessing the state, the Election Commission now believes that it is only right for central forces to be deployed to ensure that the situation is calm and ensure peaceful, free and fair elections in the state of West Bengal. In fact, a memorandum was submitted by the BJP to the Election Commission, which they've sort of adhered to. Now, meanwhile, BJP's Dilip Ghosh, Bengal Chief Dilip Ghosh, has accused TMC leaders of stealing vaccines, COVID-19 vaccines, right from the airport. Remember, Mamata Banerjee had accused that the centre has not given sufficient supply of vaccines to the state of West Bengal. Now, this question was countered by Dilip Ghosh, saying that, of course, your own TMC leaders have stolen it from the airport. He accuses TMC leaders of trying to get the vaccine out of line, while the priority is for healthcare workers. So here we're looking at a reference to two TMC MLAs on the 16th of January, where they skipped the line and got vaccinated, while it was only for healthcare and frontline workers. These two TMC MLAs got the jab and eventually justified, saying that we wanted to boost confidence of people who are apprehensive of getting the vaccine. So we're looking at the vaccine as well, a coronavirus vaccine here becoming a new flashpoint in West Bengal politics. Now, let's shift focus to another poll-bound state, Tamil Nadu, where we're looking at a lot of feathers that's already been ruffled after Sasikala, Jayalalitha's close aide, has now been released from prison, and she steps into Chennai on Monday, on the 8th of February. Already AIDMK is looking worked up. On one hand, they don't want her to claim Jayalalitha's legacy, because rightfully Sasikala was the mastermind and the brain behind Jayalalitha's throne. Very well, people knew Sasikala as Amma's right hand or Amma's closest confidant. She even served her prison sentence. Sasikala served prison sentence to a case, 66 crore disproportionate assets case, to which Jayalalitha was accused number one as well. So Sasikala never blamed Jayalalitha. She took the bullet. She served her sentence. She's out now. Will she gain that sympathy factor? She has that clout in the AIADMK. So what happens next? AIADMK, we believe, is already now trying to deter or demotivate Sasikala, has time and again said that she has no place within the party. They've now filed a police complaint. In fact, some of the ministers, remember Sasikala, as soon as she came out of hospital from Bengaluru, she boarded a car that bore an AIADMK flag, and that was quite a bold political statement to make, and this has really upset the AIADMK, because they've said she's no more part of our party, so how can she get into a car which has the AIADMK flag on it? So therefore, some of the ministers from AIADMK have filed a complaint with, they've met with the DGP, they filed a complaint. In fact, state ministers D. Jayakumar, C.V. Shammugam and P. Tangamani were among those leaders who met with the DGP and complained against Sasikala taking the AIADMK car. Now, like really, what what's the kind of involvement, or how important is Sasikala in the political setup right now in Tamil Nadu? Does she really have the significance that she once had right now after she served her prison term? Now, there are a couple of options that is before Sasikala. Let me tell you. First is, of course, encourage further unrest within the AIADMK ahead of polls. And first, we know that EPS, the Chief Minister, and Deputy Chief Minister, OPS, are always at loggerheads. They weren't comfortable with each other because OPS also had aspirations to become the Chief Minister. He ideally was Jayalalitha's man and Jayalalitha's choice. But Sasikala had thrown OPS out because she was worried that he will gain all the power at that point in time. And Sasikala herself, made EPS, who's the current Chief Minister, the Chief Minister. She handpicked him and put him on the throne. And right after she went to prison, what happened? EPS closed the doors on Sasikala. So it's very interesting to see, right when she comes into Chennai, can EPS really meet eye to eye with Sasikala? And does he need to? Well, it appears that he might, because AMMK, which is a party that Sasikala's nephew has started, Dinakaran, can really contest this election and also eat into the vote share of the AIADMK. They have a similar vote bank, which is a Tevar community, which also favors the AMMK. A small percentage, in fact, in the last Lok Sabha poll itself, 4% of the vote share that they drew, about 15% of the AIADMK vote share that they ate into. This time, they might just fare better or fare worse. It's all up to public perception. So either Sasikala ensures there's more rift between EPS and OPS and encourages it, or she campaigns for her own party, the AMMK, and ensures that this will again dent the AIADMK. Either they ally with the AMMK or they are at risk of not forming the government, or she just sits back, waits until this entire election completes, and then if AIADMK does not come to power, that's where she has the right opportunity to strike and step in, because she knows the in and out of the AIADMK, the caste system. She has her clout within the party, so she might just wait and watch to see what happens after this election might come forward. Right now, she might just take a back seat. So these are options. But Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy not leaving any stone unturned to ensure victory of the AIADMK. In fact, he's also granted now. Remember, freebies is something that the Tamil Nadu has seen extensively, be it Jayalalitha or Karunanidhi. They've always given out freebies to ensure that people are motivated to vote for their party. But this time, we've seen freebies in the form of Pongal gifts, Pongal bags, which was a hit. And now Tamil Nadu Chief Minister has announced a loan waiver of 12,000 crores for farmers, which is huge. He says that almost 16.43 lakh farmers would benefit from this farm loan waiver. We know the farming community is already suffering, so this might come as a huge plus for the farming community. So AIADMK is indeed stepping up. On the other hand, Chief Minister EPS has now also announced that all those cases that were filed against protesters who were protesting on during the Jallikattu agitation, the cases now will be withdrawn. He's promised this in the assembly session today. In fact, he says that he will consult with legal experts and ensure that all the cases will be withdrawn. Only those who indulged in vandalism and violence against the police, that will remain, but the rest will be pulled down. So let me quickly go over to Pfizer. The vaccine has now withdrawn its application for emergency use authorization of their COVID-19 vaccine in India. It's going to come back. And resubmit another application with some additional data and details, and then take permission, is what the Drug Regulatory Authority of India has informed. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we are looking at the Supreme Court granting interim bail to stand-up comic Munawar Farooqi in a case accusing him of hurting religious sentiments. Remember, Munawar was arrested for allegedly hurting religious sentiments while he was about to come out with his comic rollout. He was just about to begin his stand-up session, and some reports say that even before he started, he was arrested. Some reports say that he said something and against the Hindu religion, and therefore he was arrested. But nonetheless, he fought in court, saying that he was arrested unlawfully, and now he's got bail for it. In fact, the Apex Court said that they will also review the order of the High Court, which denied bail to the comic. On that note, I think I've covered up most of the news and updates for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to come back the same time tomorrow.